What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. Today, we're here for another start, sit, ask me anything, Q&A, whatever you guys want to call it for week 5 of the fantasy football season. So hopefully you guys are excited, ready to go. Got all your questions in store for me today so I can answer all of them for you. I see we have a couple in the chat already, so appreciate you guys for being in the chat early. And let me know, the people who were in here right now, is the audio good for you guys right now? It was a little bit weird in my headphones. I'm not sure if it was a headphone thing or if it's a stream thing. So let me know in the chat. Is the audio good for you guys right now? Anyways, man, I see we got a couple start sits right away. So we'll answer these ones, but we'll do the usual with this stream. What we do is we go through each of the matchups. We talk about players who are in, players who are out. We talk about starts, sits, and we talk about all of the lines, all this stuff. We talk about all that stuff. So I see Wars in here. He says the audio is good. So hopefully, it's good for everybody. Thanks for that, War. But I see Crimson Mass Show. Would you start Dak, Burrow, or Dobbs this week? And honestly, my advice is I would go between Dak and Burrow. I lean Burrow because of matchup, and I know that's probably not what you want to hear because you're probably hoping that I'll just tell you to sit Joe Burrow, but I don't know if I can tell you to sit Joe Burrow. It's tough, dude. I think yeah, man. I'm just going with Joe Burrow. And it's not going to be pretty, and I don't expect a lot out of any of these guys, but it's not going to be pretty, and I think it's going to be Joe Burrow for this one. And I see we got Tank Dell versus ATL or JMO versus Carolina. And I would say Tank Dell. They said that JMO is going to be on a 20-ish snap count, so he's only going to play about 20 snaps this game. I'm not touching a guy who's only playing 20 snaps. And then Anthony says, yes, sir, impeccable Bose quality. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So without further ado, we answered those questions. If you guys continue to have start sit questions, ask them in the chat. But let's talk about some of these games. And right now we got a game going on across the pond. We got a game over in London right now. Jags, Bills. It's not a barn burner by any means. It is 7-11 right now over there. So let's see what is going on here. I mean, I'm gonna pull up some of these stats. Sorry, my headphones keep disconnecting. I think I'm just having headphone issues today. So what we got right now over there in London, Trevor Lawrence, 239 yards, a touchdown. He's playing pretty decent. Josh Allen, 178 yards, a touchdown. ETN, 14 carries, 61 yards. Christian Kirk's leading the way for the receivers. I know Calvin Ridley got a concussion in this one, or was being evaluated for a concussion. And then Stephon Diggs, 6 catches, 101 yards, and 1 touchdown. So big day from Diggs over there in London. We got Tank Dell or Pierce at flex. I'm going to go Tank Dell in this one. So with all that being said, let's talk about the first game that we're expecting this Sunday morning. And it's going to be, I guess, the second game if you count London. Giants and Dolphins. So the game total here in this matchup is going to be projected at 47.5 points. The Dolphins are 12.5 point favorites in this one, so they are projected to win this one mighty heavily. And they have a implied team total of 30.5 points. The Giants have a 16.5 point implied total. And in this matchup here, we're expecting to be without Saquon Barkley. He's listed as questionable but not expected. Not sure why they do that. The questionable but not expected thing. He's not playing. It's not expected that he's playing. And the Giants have 3 starting offensive linemen who are going to be out in this one. So it's going to be kind of tough for the Giants as usual. It's been a rough start for those guys. They owe why am I spacing his name? Ed Donatel, Vikings defensive coordinator from last year. They owed Ed Donatel. Daniel Jones owes him specifically a lot of money because he got him a big contract in that wild card game. And then over on the other side of the ball, we have the Dolphins who have Teron Armstead. They put him on IR. Big loss over there on that tackle position. Connor Williams is going to be questionable. And then they did not activate Jeff Wilson off of IR, so he will not be playing in this one. So continue playing Devon Achane. Continue playing Raheem Mostert. They should all be good to go. And obviously play your Tyreek Hills, your Jalen Waddles. Over on the Giants, I don't want to play anybody. I don't want to play anybody. I guess you can continue playing Darren Waller. The tight end position is that bad. He hasn't been good, but you can continue playing Darren Waller. But other than that, I don't really want to play anybody. Anthony says Kincaid's been underwhelming all year so far, thinking of dropping for Logan Thomas in redraft, honestly. And I don't think that's a bad idea, honestly. I think Kincaid, as long as Dawson Knox is kind of playing in both of those two tight end sets, and sometimes he's playing on the one tight end set. It's just, I don't know, man. It's been underwhelming for Kincaid. Not that he's going to be bad in dynasty leagues. I think Kincaid's going to be fine in dynasty leagues, but I think, hey, he's a rookie tight end. Rookie tight ends start off slow. That's kind of just how we've seen this happen. Sam Laporta is kind of a outlier right now for what he's doing, producing. But yeah, I don't mind dropping Kincaid for Logan Thomas. I think Kincaid probably has more upside, but if you need guys to score points right now, go Logan Thomas. So let's get to the second game on the docket here, and we got the Panthers at the Lions. The Panthers, they have or this game has a very low implied game total, projected 38 points in this one between the two teams. The Lions are projected to win this one by 9.5 points. And really, the big thing is we've already talked about it. Jameson Williams is going to be on a snap count, so we're not expecting a ton of Jameson Williams in this one. Amon-Ra St. Brown will not be playing in this game. Jahmyr Gibbs will not be playing in this game, so they will be without two of their top weapons, which to me means fire up Josh Reynolds, fire up Sam Laporta, and more importantly, fire up David Montgomery. I talked about David Montgomery earlier this week on my running back start sit. I think he can be a top 5 play at the running back position this week. I think it's going to be a good day for David Montgomery. You'll be very happy with what you get. And so we also talked about over on Underdog Fantasy, if you sign up using promo code League FFB, they will match your deposit up to 100%, up to $100. So you deposit $100, they will give you $100 free. And I like the half touchdown line that they have for David Montgomery. If he gets into the end zone, which I think it's very, very likely he gets into the end zone, when you sign up, they'll give you a mystery pick, which basically a free square. Sometimes it's like Joe Burrow to pass for 1 yard. Pair that with David Montgomery, 3 times your money over there. So go sign up for Underdog Fantasy if you can. And then I see we have Primetime Edits in here. He says, this is my team without buys. I am 2-2. What should I do for the year? He has Lamar Jackson, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, Breece Hall. The team seems pretty damn good, honestly. I mean, I don't know if there's much you need to do. It looks like you've kind of had just some slower starts, some injuries, obviously, with Austin Eckler. I think he had the injury to miss Mark Andrews week 1, if I'm not mistaken. And then Breece Hall has just been ramping up slow. I'd say be patient, man. 2-2. It's not time to sell the farm yet. Keep, playing those lineups. Keep getting those guys going. And, if in 2, 3, 4 weeks from now you're 4-4, maybe we need to start making some adjustments. I'd say maybe that's a little too late, but maybe if you're, 3-3, maybe we start looking at some adjustments. But I think right now your team is kind of on the rise. You guys are going to start performing a little bit better here over the next couple weeks. But I would say one move that I would consider making is let's get out of probably Chris Godwin. I don't want to have 2 of those Buccaneers wide receivers. I see you have Godwin and Mike Evans. Let's move Godwin. Let's go try and get another wide receiver so we don't have 2 guys in that Buccaneers offense. And that would be a move you can make now. But the rest of these guys, man, I like what you got right now. So the next game we have on the docket, like I said, we had the Lions and the Panthers. For the Panthers, Austin Corbett, he's out, offensive lineman. It's tough to play these Panthers, man. I think you're playing Adam Thielen if you can. But other than that, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really want to play Miles Sanders. He's not a good matchup this week. He's also battling that groin injury. Don't really want to play Bryce. Don't want to play Hayden Hurst. I don't want to play any of these guys, man. I really don't. I think you play the Lions side of the football. And like I said, you can play Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds is a really good stream this week if you can get him. Primetime Edit says, who should I do in like a trade with Godwin? That's a good question, man. I just saw a trade in one of my leagues today where somebody traded Godwin for Nico Collins. That's a decent trade. You could do something like, let me see. I mean, I got guys here in my rankings, so let's just look at these rankings real quick. I would think of something like maybe if you can trade Godwin for like a Hollywood Brown, maybe Godwin for a Terry McLaurin. Um, I doubt you can do it now. You might have been able to do it before, but like a DJ Moore, maybe you can go get a Christian Kirk for Chris Godwin. Um, Maybe Chris Godwin and a piece on your bench for like a Michael Pittman, something like that, man. I think those are good trades that you could possibly make. If the Puka Nakua manager is nervous about Cooper Cup coming back, maybe you can trade Godwin for Puka, but I doubt because everybody's in love with Puka Nakua right now. But those are some options that I would do. I think the most logical options would be like a Nico Collins or a Hollywood Brown. Crimson Mass says, "Are you trading Dak, Debo, and Terry for Olave and Saquon?" Yes. Yes, I am. I would take Olave and Saquon. I would take that side. And so let's keep going through our games here today, guys. Ravens at Steelers. That's the next game on the docket. We got 38 points for the projected total. 4.5-point favorites from the Ravens in this one, and they did not activate Keaton Mitchell. He is still on IR. People have been waiting for Keaton Mitchell, so he's not going to be in there. And then on the other side of the football, the Steelers are not going to have Pat Freiermuth. He's out in this one. James Daniels, their guard, is out in this one. Look, man, it's going to be a low scoring game. A lot of the options in here we don't love. Odell Beckham is questionable, but he's probably playing. You play Zay Flowers, you play Lamar Jackson, you play. I guess you can play Gus Edwards. Other than that, I mean, I guess you can play Najee in them too, but there's just not a lot in here. I don't love the matchup for anybody. I don't like the matchup for George Pickens, but he could probably be like a wide receiver 3 for your team, a flex for your team. Uh, Sleepy's in here. He says, with Amon-Ra St. Brown injured, do I start Rice, Wandell, or Breida for the flex PPR league? Let me tell you, based on my rankings, man, I want to say just based on gut right away, I want to say that I'm going to go Rashee Rice. And so just double confirming here with the rankings. Yeah, I got Rashee Rice just a little bit over Wandell Robinson. It's a high projected game total, high implied team total. None of these guys are going to be safe. You're looking for big plays from all of them, but I think Rice has the best quarterback, the best or the highest projected game total on the week. He's going to be the most likely to have that big play, and hopefully he gets into the end zone. So hopefully that helps you there. If it does, go ahead and hit a like on that video for us. And then lastly, guys, we talked about, Ravens, Steelers. Let's talk about Texans, Falcons. Texans and the Falcons, 41.5-point game total. Josh Jones is going to be out on the offensive line. Kendrick Green is going to be out on the offensive line, both of those for the Texans. And then there's no injuries for the Falcons. We're starting Bijan. You can play Drake London. I'm not playing Kyle Pitts. Like I'm not playing him right now. He looks horrible. You don't want to play Desmond Ritter. For the other side of the football, let's play CJ Stroud. I think he's a low end QB1. Let's play Tank Dell. Let's play Nico Collins. And you can play Dameon Pierce if you want to. But I think he's like a low end running back 2 this week. So that's really where we're playing there. But moving on to the next game. Titans at Colts, 43.5-point projected game total. The spread on this one is at -2.5 points for the Titans. They're projected to win this one. Treylon Burks is out. No Treylon Burks. Jelani Woods was not activated from IR. Bernard Raymond out on the offensive line for the Colts. And it's going to be the Anthony Richardson show, in my opinion. I think Anthony Richardson's going to have a really good day. Michael Pittman should have a good day. The big news, it's return of the Mac. Jonathan Taylor is back. They say he's going to be on a snap count, but Jonathan Taylor is back, guys, and he got a contract extension, so he's happy, he's healthy, he's fed, he's ready to roll. So hopefully you bought low on some Jonathan Taylor shares. Hopefully you have him on your teams, because I think the back half of the season for Jonathan Taylor is going to be oh so sweet for your fantasy football teams. And Anthony says Wandell, Pickens, Najee in flex 2. Flex 1 is Gus Edwards with Baltimore D going. Absolutely terrible options. Yeah. I think in this one, man, I lean George Pickens. I think he has the biggest playability. And Baltimore, yeah, and you have Baltimore D going, so that's tough because your defense is gonna hurt if Pickens or Najee has bigger days. I think I go Pickens, man. I still think he has the highest upside of those guys, so I would go Pickens in that flex too. Crimson Master Josh Allen. Look, man, Josh Allen has been playing phenomenal this year. I don't know what you're talking about. He's like breaking records, dude. Like he has some of the highest completion percentages and some of the it's crazy, dude. He's been playing really, really well. The team hasn't been playing well for some reason. Like I feel like they're in a lot of close games. But even though saying that, they are a football team that is 3-1 and potentially, could go to 4-1 today, maybe 3-2, who knows? But I think Josh Allen is balling out this year. So next game on the docket, we have, let's see, 7 more games left to talk about. Why are people saying that Amon-Ra St. Brown has a hernia or some? Yeah, I think really it's not known really what he has. I've heard the sports hernia stuff. If he has that, that kind of sucks because he could miss a little bit more time. But um, I don't know. We don't have anything official yet, so take everything you hear with a grain of salt. But for now, we just know that he's not playing this week, so we have to adjust. Anthony says Uncle Rico over Danny Dimes. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Anthony, I'm pretty sure if you were the starting quarterback for the Giants, they would probably have at least more offensive passing yards than with Danny Dimes right now. Um, so let's go over to the Saints Patriots. It's 39 projected game total. It's a 1.5 point favorite for the Patriots. Landon Young, Juwan Johnson are out for the Saints. Trent Brown and Cole Strange on the offensive line out for the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson's a little bit banged up in this one as well. So I don't know, man. Don't love the matchup for Ramondre Stevenson this week. Obviously, we don't really love the pass catchers for the Patriots at all either. So it's tough to, want to play anybody on that team. For the Saints, you're going to play your Olave. You're going to play your Michael Thomas. Derek Carr is recovering from this injury. He looked really bad last week. Don't really like what he's putting on tape, but you got to play those options like Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara if you have them. Love the matchup for Alvin Kamara. I think Alvin Kamara is going to have a good day. But other than that, man, it's tough because Derek Carr is pretty injured and he can't push the ball downfield. Anthony says, would you trade to 24 first or 24 second for Kyler Murray? Honestly, I would trade. Is this a super flex league? If this is a super flex league, Anthony, I am definitely trading either the first or the second. If you can get away with the second for Kyler, that's a robbery. But if it's not a super flex league, uh, it makes me hold a little bit more pause. But if it's a super flex league, hell yeah, I'm trading that. So, anyways, let's go to the next game we have here. Eagles at Rams. It's the second highest projected game total. And you said yes. So, yeah, if it's a super flex league, I would be moving either. If you can do a second for Kyler, that's robbery. So Eagles, Rams, 50.5 points, or second highest projected game total of the week, -4 for the Eagles. Rashad Penny is doubtful in this one, not expected to play. Cam Jurgens put on IR, their center. And then Joe Noteboom for the Rams, their tackle, he's out. Cooper Kupp, it's return of the Mac. He's back. So we'll see what Cooper Kupp looks like. Puka Nacua, we're playing him too. We're going to play Kyron Williams. For the Eagles, you play DeAndre Swift, you play A.J. Brown, you play Devontae Smith, you play Jalen Hurts, you play Dallas Goedert. Lots of guys were playing in this matchup. So good matchup. Should have a lot of fantasy points. Love the matchup for the Eagles wide receivers, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith this week. Over on the other side, or the next game on the docket, Bengals, Cardinals, 45.5 or 45 points on this one. The Bengals are 3-point favorites. And I'm sorry, guys. I think this game should be on upset watch. I think the Cardinals have a shot to win this game. I think they really do have a shot. I like that, they get plus points. I like that, not I don't like, but for betting purposes, I like the fact that T. Higgins is not going to be playing this matchup, and you still get positive money on the Cardinal side of the football. They've looked good, man. But let's just say T. Higgins, he's questionable but not expected to play. Will Hernandez, he's questionable. Keontae Ingram's questionable for the Cardinals. So I think you can play most options in this one. You play Jamar Chase with T. Higgins out. You play him. I think you can play Joe Burrow. You might have to play Joe Burrow. I'm interested to see what Tyler Boyd does now that T. Higgins is out. I'm also interested to see what Irv Smith does. Maybe he's a sneaky start, but I wouldn't be, confidently throwing him in my lineup. And then on the other side of the football, the Cardinals, like I said, you play James Conner, you play Hollywood Brown, you play Michael Wilson, you play Zach Ertz. You can play all those guys. And Joshua Dobbs is streamable. I was going to stream Joshua Dobbs in a game this week, but I'd say he's like a low end QB2 for me this week. So there's probably plenty of other options you can play. Now, for the next game on the docket, my Minnesota Vikings are going to be playing at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Taylor Swift talk continues. It continues, but she's not coming to the game. So I have this theory, and we'll see what happens. But I have a theory that they want to create a narrative. This is real, like tinfoil hat stuff. You ready? And this is Minnesota Vikings fan. I have a theory that, they want Taylor Swift to be this like lucky charm for the Kansas City Chiefs because Taylor Swift's bringing in a lot of money for the NFL. It's very beneficial for Taylor Swift to be at these games. All the Swifties are tuning in, they're watching, they're buying jerseys, they're doing all this stuff, right? So if Taylor Swift doesn't show up today, which we know she's not showing up, and they lose, maybe Taylor Swift's the good luck charm. So maybe that's just me as a delusional Vikings fan hoping we can beat the Chiefs today. But that's my theory. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And then, like I said, it's a 53-point game total. It's the highest of the week. -3.5 favorites for the Chiefs. No injuries from either side of the football in this one. So we're playing Isaiah Pacheco. We're playing Patty Mahomes. We're playing Travis Kelce. We've already talked about it in here. You can stream Rashee Rice. You can stream Sky Moore if you have him. And for the Vikings, you play Kirk, Alexander Madison, JJ, Hawkinson, all that stuff, right? So we're good on that side of the football. Jordan Addison, we can play all of them. I think I said him. I don't know. And then Anthony says, here we are, 2023, streaming Geno Smith and Joshua Dobbs. Just wait, 2024 will be Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. Yeah, and somehow Will Levis will be like a top 10 quarterback next year. Watch. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But we'll see. And then Anthony says she's writing the Kelce breakup song if she's not present. Maybe. But maybe that would be better for Travis Kelce and the Chiefs if we could get some of that pandemonium away from the team right now. But anyways, we have a couple more games on the docket, 3 more games. Jets at Broncos, 43 points. And this is upset alert too. I think the Jets can win this game. I like their chances in this one. Garrett Wilson actually is going to be a decent play this week. I've been pretty anti-Garrett Wilson over the last few weeks, ever since Zach Wilson has taken over the quarterback position. And usually if you're betting against Zach Wilson, it's going to be a pretty good bet. And so, but this week I wouldn't be. I think Garrett Wilson can have a good week. I think Breece Hall is going to have a good week. So those two guys we can play. For the Broncos, Javonte Williams, he's going to be a game time decision. So if you have Javonte, keep an eye on that. I don't know if we've had any word come out about Javonte yet. We'll see. I'll pull it up right now, just see where we're at. Not seeing anything right now. So we don't have anything yet for Javonte Williams, but keep an eye on that. If you have him, hopefully you picked up Jaleel McLaughlin. I think Jaleel McLaughlin will be the next guy up. I think he'll be most likely the beneficiary of Javonte being out. I know a lot of people like P. Ryan. I think he's just a jag, guys. McLaughlin has a lot more juice. You can play Judy. Well, let's be honest. You can play Judy, but Judy's going to see a lot of Sauce Gardner. I don't love that matchup for him. You can probably play Cortland Sutton, but other than that, you play Russell Wilson and so on. So there's that matchup for you guys. 2 more matchups: Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. We have the Cowboys at the 49ers. The Niners are favored 3.5 points in this one. Elijah Mitchell is out, so fire up Christian McCaffrey. I mean, it's just this obvious at this point. I mean, the dude's damn near the MVP right now. So fire up Christian McCaffrey, maybe a 4-touchdown game in the works. But the Cowboys defense is pretty good. So we're not worried about we're still not worried about Christian McCaffrey. Fire up Ayuk. I think it's a good matchup for Ayuk. Fire up Debo. Fire up George Kittle. you can play Purdy. Cowboys, I think you can still play Dak. I think you play Pollard, you play CD. I This is a very sneaky, and I would not advise anybody to do this. This is very sneaky. I have to do it in one of my leagues, but I kind of like the matchup for Michael Gallup. Um, that wide receiver 2 position has been a battle so far between Brandon Cooks and Michael Gallup. Over the last couple of weeks, Michael Gallup has kind of sneakily been getting more targets, getting more yards, being more involved. And in a game like this on the 49ers, where, it's projected to be a lot of points. The Cowboys projected to be behind in this game. They're going to have to throw the football. Majority of the coverage probably leaning over to CD Lamb's side of the football. Michael Gallup there's been worse plays than Michael Gallup this week. I'm playing him in a flex. It's a 2 flex league, 3 wide receiver league. So I'm playing 5 wide receivers this week. And Michael Gallup, he's the guy that I'm going with. So I think he's sneaky, but don't follow me. That could be a very bad decision. But I just want to throw that out there. And Anthony says Jake Ferguson versus San Francisco or Luke Musgrave versus Las Vegas. And we're going Luke Musgrave in this one. I think there's a lot of points in that one. And I think the Packers can win that one. And speaking of that game, the Packers are actually underdogs in this matchup. I like them to win this game. So I don't mind that Luke Musgrave play. It's a 45-point game total. Like I said, Raiders are 2-point favorites in this one. Aaron Jones is questionable. David Bakhtiari is on IR. Devontae Adams is questionable. I expect both Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams to play, but keep in mind that they are questionable. So, if you don't want to play that risk game, maybe play somebody today. I would not be playing somebody today if it was my team. I have enough confidence that they will play this week. But if you're really nervous, you could go pick up like a Jaden Reed, or you could go pick up like somebody else like that, a Hunter Renfrow, and just have a backup just in case. Or Luke Musgrave, like you said, Anthony, pick one of those guys up and have a backup just in case one of them doesn't go. And Crimson Mass says, you like the Packers? Yeah, I mean, this week I like the Packers to beat the Raiders, man. I do. I like them to beat the Raiders. So it is what it is. If you guys have any other start sit questions, NFL questions, any questions, yeah, I guess it could be any questions just for me in general. It doesn't actually have to be fantasy football related. Go ahead and throw them in the chat. Show usually goes until about 12:30 Eastern. We're at about 12:20, almost 12:20. So if you guys have any other questions, throw them in the chat. If not, we'll end about 10 minutes early, and I'll go watch this Jags game. So you guys let me know if you have any questions. I'll stick around for a couple more minutes, see if they start flowing in. If not, we'll see you guys next week. But well, that's being said, while I'm waiting for the questions in the chat, I'll just throw in a couple more little news pieces that we've got since we've been live. I guess Dalton Kincaid, he's in the medical tent and is being evaluated for a concussion. So Dalton Kincaid has a concussion in that game. Zay Jones left that game today with a knee injury too, so he's questionable. Couple injuries in that one. And then Mike Garofalo says that he does not expect a decrease in reps for Rams rookie wide receiver Puka Nacua. The team believes that there's enough passes for both him and Cooper Kupp in this one. So we'll see. Saquon Barkley was officially marked inactive. Calvin Ridley's being evaluated for a concussion. My gosh, man, everybody's being getting taken out of that game. Zay Jones out of that game. Dalton Kincaid out of that game. Calvin Ridley out of that game. I guess it's the Christian Kirk show right now and the Stephon Diggs show. Josh Reynolds and JMO obviously are active for today. The Athletics reports that Joe Burrow is not close to 100% healthy. They said he's likely a few weeks away, so we'll see what happens there. Like I said, JMO's on a snap count today. 20 snaps is what we're projecting, so he's not really a safe play at all. I'd put him on my bench and see what happens. Unless you're like me and your whole team is on bye in one league and you have to play Jameson Williams, then I guess you got to rock with what you rock with. And then from Thursday Night Football, Bears running back Khalil Herbert is expected to miss multiple weeks with an ankle injury that he suffered. So that is that, boys. Hopefully you guys have a good week today. We want to see you guys win your championships, win your leagues, do all that good stuff. So hopefully I'm helping you guys do that throughout the way. Again, if you guys want to go sign up for Underdog Fantasy, use promo code League FFB. They will match your deposit up to 100%. So if you deposit $100, it's up to $100. So if you deposit $100, they will give you $100 free and a freebie mystery pick'em. So if you play that, then it's basically like a free square. Some of them I've seen is like Tony Pollard for like a yard, things like that. So we like the David Montgomery touchdown prop or the David Montgomery touchdown play this week. So make sure you go play that David Montgomery higher than a half touchdown and use your free pick'em for that deposit match. A couple more questions in here before we get out of here. War says they are considering IR for Herbert. Yeah, it'll be tough. But that means get ahead of your waivers right now. Go get Roschon Johnson if they're open. If not, then he's going to be a priority pickup for fantasy football this week. So keep an eye out for him. And then Anthony says Tank Dell versus Atlanta or Najee versus Baltimore. Flex 2. Flex 1 is Kyron Williams. I like Tank Dell versus Atlanta in this one. So make sure you guys make sure you pick that one, Anthony. Now, if you guys are still in here, if you're watching the replay, thank you for stopping by. We're going to get out of here now. So go ahead and hit that like button before you leave. It's the best free way to show this channel support. So go hit that like button for me before you leave. And make sure you're subscribed. More content like this coming out soon. Go join our free Discord. Anthony's in there. It's talking football all the time. In fact, Anthony is probably going to be playing in a league with me sometime in the future when we get some openings in my sleeper dynasty leagues, because he's in the Discord. So if you guys want to go join the Discord, go do that. It's free to join for the first 100 people. After we get to 100, it will no longer be free. So get in there while you can, while it's free 99 forever. So go ahead and do that. I will see you guys on the next video. Good luck in your games this week. Peace out, guys.